What are we doing, Jimmy? What are we
Uh,
doing?
The live coaches player show episode 1, man.
I, don't- I mean, look, here we are. Um, we're
On a Wednesday.
on a Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Man, so we've been talking about doing this for a while, and we didn't know if our if this
Schedules.
would work. I didn't, yeah. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on. So we're like, hey, man, it'd be cool if we did a live coaches show, coaches player show on another night or something different in
Yep.
the middle of the week or whatever to kind of since we've kind of not been doing the podcast and here we are and we've
Here
got
we
two
are.
great coaches lined up and I've not texted them yet, so I'm gonna have to text them and get them up. But we do have Coach Travis Burns from Pulaski coming on at 9:15 and Coach
hmm
Clay Clemenger at 9:30, Somerset Briar Jumpers. I'm going to catch a lot of flag for getting Coach Burns on here right off the bat. All the people, they've been
Hey,
that
his name was thrown up though. Like everybody kept saying that whenever you posted it out, you were like, "Who's gonna, who should be the first one?" And somebody was like, "You should get our coach on." We're like, "You're like, okay."
Hey, listen, hey, look, we're going to do the best we can do right here. But anyway, yeah, we'll have those coaches coming on shortly. Right now, like I said, we're happy to be here. Man, I've been battling the last 2 days, Jimmy.
Hey,
I have been super tired, man. I don't know. I've just been wore out.
I can
I've
tell
not
by
been
that haircut. That hair
look,
is going.
yeah. I couldn't even find a hat to put on. Look
Listen,
at my
you just
eyes.
got up from a nap, is what happened to you.
No, I've been reclining it since about 3:30 or 4. I don't know how long it's been. So, but real quick, Jimmy, before we bring the coaches on, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the games we do have coming up.
Yep,
Don't know if you've got the schedule in front of
I
you.
do. Yep.
Uh, Greg Witt says, "Hope you're feeling better, brother." Hey, I'm getting there, man. I'm getting there. I don't know what happened. It's just like out of nowhere. I just like was tired, man. Just like super, super tired. I don't. I
Hey,
guess Jimmy said I
listen.
just rip and run. Like,
Yeah, you rip and run too much. Hey, listen. I think Greg was the one who said. I think you mentioned this last week or something. He had a comment. He was like, he said, if y'all had it on a Wednesday, I'd be watching. So shout out, Greg, man. You're on top of it, man.
I think Greg or Wes. So they may have been Wes Finley.
Yeah,
Now,
that's right. It was West. My bad.
but now Wes, where you at?
Yep.
Wes,
That,
where you at? I ain't seen Wes comment yet. Where's my Pulaski people at? So,
oh, they'll be on here.
yeah, hopefully so. Anyway, but where was I at? No, so I am feeling a little bit better today. The rain too. All the rain set in, and there ain't really much for me to do when it rains. So it's kind of
It's like your vacation time.
well, but even I got all the 12th region sports stuff to do because me and you've got a schedule. We got graphics that says you're setting up your excuse for not coming to the game Friday. No, no, I've got to come to the game Friday and make it through. I've got.
Listen. We're coming Friday night, okay, and we're gonna be there. And Kenny's not gonna. He's not going up to the press box this time. I'm going up to the press box this
Yeah,
time.
Jimmy's gonna go.
I'm gonna put him on the sidelines while he can watch the game.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make it through. I will not leave no matter what because I'm gonna make it to the end of the game because I've done ate too much crow on that one. I've
Well,
done took too much abuse on
it's
that.
set up perfect too because it's not gonna rain Friday, so
There we go. So now watch, no, my luck, work will call me out and make me go somewhere Friday night. I won't be able to go.
then you can
But
say I'm
anyway,
sick.
no, I'll be there. If they have to wheelchair me out there, I'll be there. So, but anyway, listen, as always, check out the sponsors down there. People that help make this thing go. If you guys comment on the show, let us know. The great thing, listen, this is a different dynamic what we're doing here. So we're bringing
Yep.
coaches onto the show with your live comments.
Right.
So one of the things I ask is everybody keep it respectful because your comment says more about you than it does our guest or anything like that. We're not going to acknowledge any stupid comments. We're just not. The coaches are going to ignore stupid comments. But if you have a good question or something like that, we're going to bring it up on the show. Okay? That's just how it works. So that's the great thing. And it's great thing about what we do. We have the interaction with everybody.
Yeah.
And these coaches are going to come on and they're going to talk. So if we act dumb on here, they're not going to do it anymore, and it's not going to work. So
Right.
let's make sure we do the right thing here. And so jump in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from, if you're watching. So I'm hoping. I mean, and this is our first show, so I'm not for sure how many people are actually going to tune in. It may take a while for this thing to take off. So like I said, it may take a minute. It may take some time. But,
it says right now we have quote 25, so and it's going up. So
yeah.
hopefully
So Chris Hazlett says I'm sending questions.
Listen, our group text is going to go off now. I can just see it. I already know what's going to happen. That's why I got it on Do Not Disturb.
So that's why I got to put my I'm gonna go ahead and send Coach Burns here the link to get him coming on whenever he's ready. But so Jimmy, real quick, games that we got lined up.
So
go ahead, I'll let you run with
Friday night. This coming Friday night, we got Bell County travels to McCurry Central. We know how Bell County is, and that's gonna be a test for McCurry Central right there for sure. Boyle travels to Ballard after an off week. Eastern plays at Wayne.
Real quick on the Boyle Ballard. You think so? Boyle's the favorite in that one, pretty sure, correct?
Right.
But now, so the last road game that Boyle went on, they were the favorite. But I'm really curious about this game. I wonder how Boyle responds in their second road game, because their last road game they did lose.
Right.
But they had that great win at home in Highlands. I'm really curious to see how Boyle responds on the road at Ballard. Right. I'll let you go ahead with that one.
And I think it's like we talked about. I think we talked about in the live show Sunday night. Ballard's played Catholic. They beat Catholic 19-6. They played Male. They beat them by 3. They played a Missouri team that they ended up losing to, and they played Station 8-3. But I think that was that game had something issue with it, and of course they beat Fern Creek. But so, that's I think Boyle's the favorite in that game for sure. But who knows what happens over there in Louisville, man. And then so after that we have. Sorry, I lost my thought. There it is.
No, you're fine. Jeremy Simpson wanted to know what coach is coming on. Jeremy, we got Coach Travis Burns from Pulaski and Coach Clevenger from Somerset. 9:15 and 9:30, brother. Go ahead, Jimmy. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm glad you seen that comment. I see it. And then of course Garrett travels to Casey County, which will be a good game. I think that'll be a good game to watch. Lafayette's at East Jessamine this week or Friday night. Franklin County travels to Lincoln County. That's a big clash in 4A right there. And then Bardstown travels to Mercer County, and of course one of the big games that we got Coach Burns can talk about. South Warren travels to Pulaski County. Clay County's at Rock. Danville's at Shawnee. Metcalf's at Somerset, and West Jessamine travels to GRC. So that's the schedule for the week.
Okay, and so Nola Middleton says, "Hi, Kenny. What's up, brother? Basketball season's right around the corner, man." Nola, he's a 4th grader, basketball player, going to be a superstar one day. So some good games there. Franklin, Lincoln County definitely is a game that has my curiosity. Franklin would be the favorite, but they are coming to the road to Lincoln County. Maybe a clash of styles a little bit. I would imagine Franklin, a lot of speed. They probably score the ball a ton. I've not looked at your stats at all, but maybe a measuring stick, see where Lincoln's at and how they compare. I mean, Franklin's played. I thought I read on WPPK-FM a little bit about, Franklin's played in the semifinals or state finals in, I don't know, 5 or 6 of the last, I don't know how many years. So that's a huge, we talk about teams testing themselves. I mean, this is a really good test for a 5-0 Lincoln team. And, if Lincoln plays at a good game and loses, that's definitely not that's nothing to be, that's not a bad thing for them. Right. So,
well, like I said, I know, like we talked about Sunday night, our game of the week is Metcalf at Somerset, and we're going to be traveling there. But Kenny, man, I think one of the biggest games outside, of what we've got coming Friday night is South Warren at Pulaski.
Oh, yeah.
We are now joined by the man himself. Coach Travis Burns.
How's it
How are you,
going,
sir?
guys? I'm
What's-
good. You all doing all right?
Ah,
Pretty good.
I'm getting old, man.
No, you're a spring chicken still.
Oh, I'm older than you.
Oh, a lot of people are older than me.
So, Coach, Jimmy's over there playing with the. Look at it. Look at that. Look how we got your own little graphic down there at the bottom.
Looks nice. Yeah, he does a great job.
Hey, man. So, it's a pleasure to have you on our very first edition of the 12th Region Sports Coaches Show. So there's a lot of learning curves here. Okay, so this may go off the rails at any moment. All right. So, and we are live. We are live, and it is what it is. Okay, so. So I give the disclaimer. I'm gonna have the thoughts and opinions of the co-guest and the co-host of 12th Region Sports, and does not always reflect the thoughts and opinions of 12th Region Sports. I'm gonna give you the Chris Hazlett treatment, okay?
I appreciate that.
No.
Yes.
Hey,
CYA.
Coach, man.
Oh. There we go.
There we go. We lost you for a second, but all right, Coach. So far you having a great season, man. I think we 4-1 at this point, maybe. And
4-1.
4-1. Talk a little bit about the year you've had so far, and just the process of getting there, and your boys, your team so far this year.
Well, we expected to have a good team. We come off a really good season the year before, 8-5, and we had won the district, and that was the first time we had done that in 6 years. And and we were really young. That's what why we expected that. Basically, we all juniors and sophomores, and so. And then when the schedule we made the schedule, we wanted to play quality competition, and we obviously wanted the RPI boost with 6A teams, and we wanted to challenge ourselves to be ready for the playoffs. So they've responded. The kids they've done a great job this year, and we couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that schedule. I mean, it doesn't get eat, man. I mean, like you are going absolutely like it's like playing in the SEC, isn't it? I mean, it's one after another, and you come out of. I mean, going to Johnson Central is not an easy task, and then you're coming right out in South Orange, coming to PC. That's after playing Corbin. Yeah, so talk a little bit about that schedule, man.
Yeah, like I said, we wanted to play great competition. We felt like going into the season, we wanted to make sure that we had an RPI. The RPI. Some people like it, some people don't, but that's what dictates the playoffs. And our goal is to host a region championship game and be able to host a state semifinal game. And you're not going to be able to do that unless you play quality opponents that are going to have that win-loss record that are good, and then you get that multiplier with 6A teams, and so that's kind of what went into that. And we started the year off with 3 6A teams, and and they're having a great year right now. North Hardin's sitting at 3-2, and their 2 losses are to us and LCA, who are 2 pretty good football teams. And then you have Henderson, that kind of come out of nowhere, but they're 2-2, and Bryan Station is on a win streak. And like you said, we come out and we play Corbin, who Corbin has a lot of pride and tradition, and they're a well-coached football team. And then Johnson Central on the road, which you can see how that went, and then playing South Warren this Friday.
Yeah, talk a little bit about the Johnson Central game itself, and me and you kind of text a little bit about it. And I mean, you guys are a good football team, and there's no doubt about that. And the Johnson Central game was tough, but you guys learned a lot, and you're going to be better from that. But talk a little bit about the Johnson Central game itself, and like you said, that's a long drive down there, and it's a tough place to play.
Yeah, we kind of it's ultimately it starts with me, and like I told our coaches and even our players, it starts with me. Players win games, coaches lose them. We come off that win of Corbin, and that was a big win for us. And we didn't get refocused and ready for that game, and that was obviously evident, and just the way we performed in the first half. And we kind of got it going in the second half, but at that point it was a little too late. And with the bus ride, and that's a great environment. And hats off to Johnson Central; they were ready to go, and they're a very good football team. And so, it just started with us coaches, making sure they were focused and ready to go. And then, we come off that week, and we've had a really good week of practice. We had a really good day today. And I think the kids understand, and playing good football teams are going to expose you to what you need to get better at. The worst thing you can do is beat someone by 5 or 6 touchdowns, and then you have an inflated sense of self. So it's all good and stuff to win. 1 point or 50 points, it really don't matter to me how you win. But if you're going to set yourself up for the playoffs, you've got to be able to see where your weaknesses are or where you need to fix and move forward.
Yeah, I've got to see you guys play, I think, Bryan Station game a little bit, but I've also been paying really close attention to, I'm not really saying that slow starts, but it seems like you play a lot better in the second half than you do the first half of games, or at least the offense scores more points. And someone was telling me that, a lot of times the kids just take the initiative to handle those things and play better and all those. Talk a little bit about the leadership you have from the kids on the team and some of those people that step up.
Yeah, we vote for captains every year at camp, and this year it was Zach Anderson and Cohen Finley, and Zach, he's the leader on offense. He's the quarterback, and he's bought into the game plan and kind of our philosophy on how we want to do things, and he's a guy that gets them going, and then. Cohen is just, we call him the Energizer Bunny in the office because, he's on offense, defense. He's on every tired. So he's just right there with it. Like today, he was tackling and going on and running, and you think he'd be a little bit tired, but he wasn't. That's some good lead. And then, we have some big guys up front that really, we take pride in our offense and defensive line. And, I think in the second halves of games, they've really taken over, and we've just been able to run the football. And, trying to when you're running the football for 48 minutes, just constant pounding, that takes a lot. And, I think our kids also, people talk about our numbers and, we only have 50 something kids and this and that. And, our kids take that personal and they're going to say, hey, we're going to play and win.
The one thing I noticed too when I watch y'all play is it's always on defense. Cohen here, Cohen tackle, Cohen force fumble, Cohen, and he's such a high energy and he's all over the place. And there's a couple kids on defense that I've seen this year, and I've done like he's one of them that I think is one of the best defenders in what we call our region coverage area. Mm-hmm. I know there's no such thing as 12th region football, but there is to me because it's good for business. But in 12th region football, Cohen Finley is one of the top defenders.
He's what the best thing about it, he's physical and he's mean and he takes pride in how he plays. And like you said, it's Cohen here, Cohen there. He's got a knack for getting to the football.
Yeah. Well, Coach, it doesn't, like I said, excuse me, it doesn't get any easier because you got South Warren coming this week, Friday night. What do you know about South Warren? Obviously, a top 5, top 10 team, an opportunity for you guys to kind of rewrite some. I don't want to say rewrite some wrongs, but an opportunity to kind of. You know how it is when you lose a game and people are kind of like, that's what we thought, kind of get some of that swagger back. But what do you know about South Warren?
Well, South Warren's coached by Brandon Smith, and I worked for his dad, Chuck Smith, for 4 years when I was at Bull, and so Brandon and I have a good relationship through coaching and through his dad, and they're a well-coached football team. That's the first thing. Anything with a Smith attached to it, they're going to be well coached. Yeah. offense and defensively, they look very similar to what we do. It's almost identical. If you watch the game, you'll kind of be like, two similar styles. Um, up front defensively, they've got two big interior tackles. One's listed at like 6'7", 330 or something like that, and there's another one. He's like 6'2", 300 or something, and they have two really the York kid who plays running back number 2. He's really really good, and you're going to get a well coached ball club. They're going to do things schematically sound. They're going to be very physical on defense, especially. They're not going to beat themselves, so we've got to really come out. Like you said, it's another opportunity. We feel like we didn't put out a showing on the field, and I tell the kids, and I told the kids, like, I can handle a loss. We're not. A loss is okay, but if you're not, I don't like the losses where you feel like you could have done something different on the field.
Yeah.
So, we want that opportunity to come back out and show how we can play football.
Well, I can tell you, the biggest problem is probably the fact that I picked you to win, because when I pick you to lose, you win, and when I pick you to win, you lose. So I think the remedy would be me just to pick against you.
That's true.
Oh yeah. Just we call all that, Saban calls it rat poison and all that. But,
so, all that nonsense, the 12 region sports stuff. But I can tell you, the Corbin week, I got multiple text messages and calls, and So I take a little credit, not much, but just a little.
I could probably guess who it was. It's probably that same crew that sits up on the hill and.
Yeah. So we may have been coming to Pulaski Friday night, but we made an alternate turn. We was like, we're going to save it for a couple weeks down the road. Anyway, your all's district, going into the year, some people may have thought, well, the district's not going to be that tough, But now that you look at it, your district is a lot tougher than people may have thought going into the season. Every game's going to be a little bit of a battle. North, South, Southwestern. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, we, like you said, we have a great district. Coach Hines at South Laurel, he's doing an amazing job. And I'm a South Laurel graduate, so that's the best start they've had there. And the sky's the limit for them. And Coach Nelson at North Laurel, he's got them rolling. He had a big win over Madison Central, a really good Madison Central team that beat Scott County this past weekend. And then, Coach Foley has dominated this district for a long time. And so, our district is really good. I think sometimes it gets overlooked in the state, but, like you said, there's no week on our schedule where we can just relax. We have to be about it and get through it and really focus on, the goals that we have.
All right, Coach. Well, so far, I just want you to know, on the Coach's Show, you've been the best coach we've ever had so far.
I appreciate that.
So, you're the first one, but you're also the best one.
Oh, yeah.
It's the first show, and he's already got the high head. It's all good.
But anyway, Coach, we appreciate you, but Jimmy, go ahead and throw the graphic up, because we got one last thing for you.
All right.
I don't know if you've ever heard of this or not.
I don't know if he's ready for it or not, but
the Kenny's Hot Seat Challenge. Are you ready for this, Coach? I didn't tell you this was coming.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. These are random off the wall questions that have nothing to do with football.
Okay.
All right. So, if you had to foot race one assistant coach that you were guaranteed to win, who would it be?
Oh, that's easy. Coach Gross. He's our he's our head JV coach. I could walk and beat him.
Okay. All right. Question number 2, and this will be it. The last one here. All your assistant coaches have to take a test, a math test. I'm talking about a hard one. And you like who is the last person you're picking? Who's going to finish last? Who's going to get the worst grade?
You had to put him on that spot. Come on, Kenny.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. It's the hot seat challenge. I'm not going to give them softballs.
That's
hey, listen. I was going to ask. Go ahead.
I was going to say that's definitely Coach Meese. If you need like a table built or something with woodworking, he's your
Yeah.
guy because he's great, but when maybe not taking a math test.
I wasn't going to do this, and I wasn't going to put him on the spot, but this is the hot seat challenge, so I got to give him one more hard one. Question 3. Coach, would you rather have a better offense or a better defense?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think in today's game, playing dominant defense is almost impossible just with the rules. And so, you've got to have it. It's kind of like Saban at Alabama. He was a dominant defensive guy, and then he kind of, with Mac Jones and those guys, realized like offense is kind of the name. And so, I think better offense, and that's coming from a defensive guy.
Yeah, that's why
But-
I was like, man, I didn't want to put him on the spot, but you know what?
Hey.
It's the hot seat challenge. We got to have a little fun. This is 12th Year Sports. We do everything different. We do it.
Hey, I'm gonna put him on the spot. I'm gonna put him on the spot. Coach Burns, what's your hidden talent?
Well, according to Coach Mills, there it's Call of Duty.
oh
Yes, I had to. I had
No.
to.
Oh,
I
Coach
don't-
Mills and I, we all play. All me and the Bull County coaches,
Oh.
we still play a lot of Call of Duty.
Well, Coach Haddix is supposed to come on next week, so we'll see. We'll see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. That's what he told Chris Hazlett anyway. So we'll see. I've not confirmed it yet. We're waiting.
Yeah, you'll be waiting.
So anyway, hey, Coach Burns, man, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on. Looking forward to seeing you soon, and appreciate you doing this for us. And
Yep.
like I said, we appreciate you, and looking forward to you guys having a great season and finishing it strong.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and love what y'all do, and I know the kids do. They really appreciate y'all being able to promote them.
Thank you, sir. You have a great one, man.
Beat
You too.
South
See ya.
Warren.
Thank you.
That's right. Good interview, Jimmy. Now I got to send the link out to Coach Clevenger real quick. I'm running behind.
Well, it's like that. I mean, that's kind of cool because you kind of get that little. You get especially with the coaches show, you kind of get that. People get to see I guess you say the other sides of the coaches compared to just what they would see on Friday nights.
Yeah.
So.
And that's like someone sent Chris text me, said I was freezing up a little bit. I apologize about that, guys. We're still working through some of the issues and stuff like that. So we're waiting for Coach Clevenger next. I just sent him the link, so it might be a minute or two. Jimmy, where do we leave off? What were the games we were talking about? We got to talk about South Warren a little bit.
Right.
And
You ended up
Pulaski.
I think you lastly talked about you were talking about the Lincoln game, but I think then you ended up going to you was about to do the Garrett and Casey, I believe.
Yeah. So I mean, Garrett and Casey,
And then
tough one there. I mean, that's at Casey, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. And then Danville's at Shawnee.
Two teams that you don't really. Two teams we haven't really got to watch much. I mean, we got to see Garrett early in the year, but Garrett seems to be they seem to be, away, or it just hasn't been worked out. We've actually got to go to Garrett this year.
Right. Yeah.
And Casey's been a hard one to get to as well. We've not really talked about Casey as much, and I apologize about that. But we are going to Casey at McCray Central, last game of the year. So,
Yep.
if you guys will
Spoiler
hold on-
alert. Spoiler alert.
But yeah, spoiler alert. So that's going to be our game of the week. Do you all think Lincoln County can pull the upset off? Man, it's going to be tough. Yeah, but never say never. You never know. I think that would be a huge upset if they beat Franklin County.
They
could possibly jump 2 spots in the rankings.
Yeah.
I mean, if they beat Franklin County, you'd have to seriously think about moving them to 3. I mean, they're undefeated with a win over
sure.
Franklin. They could
For
jump
sure.
Rock. I mean, legit. I mean, I know people might not want to hear that, but that would be
your
undefeated with a better win. There's
buddy.
Wesley. There's
He's late. I mean, come on, Wesley.
But I mean, you're talking, but that would be a huge win. Huge win.
But another game that that is going to be our game of the week is Shawnee at Somerset. And Kenny, we are now joined by the coach himself,
Oh, there he is,
Coach
Coach
Clevenger.
Clevenger.
What's going on, guys?
How are you
Going
doing,
on,
sir?
Coach?
We're making it.
Well, Coach, first off, I'm going to go ahead and apologize because when we went to your game, I wimped out and I left at halftime against the Southwestern because I got tired. My old age, man. I got tired. I just ain't got it no more. I ain't got it, Coach. I ain't got it.
That's all right. We took care of business without you.
But we are coming back Friday night, sir. We are coming back Friday night to watch you guys play Metcalf. And the Wits gave me a hard time. Greg and Allie, they gave me a hard time because I didn't stay with the belt, And I remember because the last time I was at Somerset, your sons, they had to hold the belt.
Yeah.
And I remember that. So I was like, I got to come back. I got to bring the belt back.
That cost me some money because we had to buy my youngest son one for Christmas. So he's got his own belt now.
Well, but they're nice. They're nice. So, all right, Coach, we thank you for joining us on the show, and thank you for being on our first ever show, our first coaches show. We've been thinking about doing this forever, man, and it's always weird, when you tell coaches, "Hey, we want to do a live show," and with people commenting on it. But we appreciate you being able to come on and do this for us, man. You guys are having a great year, and playing some really good football right now. So, talk to us a little bit about your football team right now. I know you guys suffered some big injuries earlier, but you seem to do what you always do, and you kind of figure it out. You guys are playing some good football, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, our kids work extremely hard. It really starts, in January. You got a good group. A lot of our seniors are 3-year starters. They started for me, as sophomores my first year here, and several juniors started as freshmen that year. So we've kind of got a nucleus of guys that are 2 and 3-year starters, and then we've also got a good little group of young guys. We're starting, I think, 4 or 5 freshmen right now. So, we're just trying to get better each day. We've been hit a little bit with the injury bug. We'll probably be a little bit light this week with some guys as well being out, but that's part of it, and just kind of the next man up philosophy. But kids work hard every day, and our thing is just we try to get better each day, and we've been able to do that so far.
All right, Coach, Logan Young says he'll find a way to win. Oh, Logan. So, I went blank for a minute. That's the old age happening again, going blank for a minute. But anyway, so you all played Greene County last week, and Coach, you guys been handling business pretty much often. But Chris Hughes, and you've coached the Cam a couple years ago, but Chris is another guy. Wherever you put him, he continues to make plays. Jacob Bartley, but talk about some of those players, man, what they've been able to do and move them around, and the impact they're having. And the Woolridge kid stepping up as a freshman, I think it is, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Chris, kind of the straw that stirs the drink, and as a sophomore, he was a playmaker for us in the slot, and then last year moving to running back and getting the majority of the carries, and thought we were going to kind of have that same kind of deal this year, and then that first week the season was kind of rough on the quarterback room at Somerset, and so um, you know about midway through the third quarter in the first game, Chris goes from being a running back to being a quarterback, and we really haven't missed a beat. That's a testament to him and really to our guys up front. We've got I feel like a real solid offensive line, and they've been doing a really good job. Working together as a group and as a unit, and and so we're now just kind of putting everything together around Chris about what his strengths are. So you kind of work all summer working with your quarterbacks and figuring out and then all of a sudden that kind of gets thrown out the window. So I think we still got a lot of room for improvement. You mentioned Xavier Woolridge, who's probably one of the more dynamic freshmen in the state. He got size and speed and a lot of big play capability. We started another freshman receiver, Alex Decker, who's got the same type of. He's not as big physically, but real good playmaker. We started a freshman left tackle, Christian Alsabrook. So we're kind of young on the offensive side of the football. And we don't start a senior up front. We start a sophomore center, Landon Huseman, Zaisha Jones, who's a left guard, is a junior. Um, Dayton Coots has started right guard. He's a sophomore, and then I take that back. Caden Beans, a freshman right tackle or senior right tackle. So those guys have really been gelling together really well. Um, Jax Griffiths, who's a tight end, that's kind of bounced around at different positions, and he's one of those young men that he's a high school football player. Like he's too slow, he doesn't catch well enough, this or that. He just has worked his tail off to find his way on the field and is doing a great job at tight end for us. And then from that point, we just kind of we run quite a few different little sets to try to cause a little confusion and get some number advantages. And Coach Tibbs, our offense coordinator, does a good job with that. Austin Lawless will come in, Xavier Hudson will come in. You'll see those guys as lead blockers, and so it's kind of a work in progress. We kind of add a little bit to it offensively each week, and we're excited about that. And then defensively, it starts with our front three. You got Cam Alsop, who's a 3-year starter at nose guard. Jake Bartley, who you mentioned, at defensive end, can be a dynamic player for us. And Zach Carter, another 3-year starter at the other defensive end. And so you got three-year starters, in your defensive front. That kind of helps mask a lot of things because those guys are good football players. And so
Yeah, I was saying, Coach, everybody's been telling me, Somerset's defense is, your all's defense is playing as well, if not better, than the offense is. And just looking at your scores here lately, you're not giving up too many points. So against some some teams that have put up some points. So the defense is definitely doing its job, isn't it?
it is. I mean, of course, we came out and you get beaten that first game by South Laurel, and you see what South Laurel's done now. They're undefeated, and they got one of the top quarterbacks in the state. And we're starting 3 out of 4 new guys in the secondary, and so that was kind of a tough starter for a brand new secondary to go out and face a team that threw the ball as well as they did. But we've settled in, and really our first unit's only given up 1 touchdown in the last or 2 touchdowns in the last 4 games. So they had a couple scores that came against some of our younger kids, but so they're playing well. They're playing well together. John Reynolds kind of and Drew Lawson are inside linebackers that are really getting to the football well. Austin Lawless, another 3-year starter at outside linebacker, and then we moved Corbin Somala down, and Corbin's done a good job running the football for us too. So, those guys, our front 7 is our strength on the defensive side so far. And now that we're getting game experience, I feel like our secondary, is shoring up. Back there, you start 2 freshmen. We got Woolridge that starts at safety, and we got Drew Anderson that starts at corner. They're both freshmen. And then Tanner Wilson, who's a first year in our program, senior, and Chris Hughes, the other secondary guy. So like I said, I feel like we've still got some room for improvement just because we've got so many young guys and the guys that are just kind of learning our philosophy and our system.
Yeah, we joke, we aggravate each other on our show about who picks who and who picks against each other. I just want you to know, Doodlebug picked Paris to beat you. I just throwing that out there.
Well, that does surprise me a whole lot. I wouldn't, Doodlebug, he doesn't always, make smart decisions.
I love it.
We just had to aggravate Doodlebug for a minute.
Hey.
But anyway, Jimmy, you got a question?
Yeah, so Coach, you talking about, you guys predominantly are, you've rushed for over 1,000 yards so far on the year, but talk about your 2 freshmen at wide receiver. I know you mentioned Woolridge a little bit, but you got Decker and Woolridge there as your 2 freshman wide receivers. I mean, how have they come along so far?
They're good. I think, our biggest thing is they got an offensive lineman as a head coach that likes to run the football. We need to throw the football a little bit more, and Chris is getting more and more comfortable throwing it. I think that's the biggest thing. But I know that those 2 guys can be good playmakers, and we got to get the ball to them more in space. We talked about it as coaches. We've been working harder on it in practice, and I think as Chris gets more and more comfortable. Chris has got a capable arm. Sometimes his biggest thing is just setting his feet and doing some of the quarterback fundamentals that he hadn't done a whole lot in his career. But when he does those types of things, he's got a lot of arm talent. So those guys are guys that can stretch the field and or catch short passes and make things happen. And we got to be able to do that to help take some of the pressure off our run game.
Also, Coach, I saw a video. You had a kicker kicked a 50-yard field goal one day there. Not too many people have that in high school.
Yeah, and he's just a sophomore. Julian Carroll, I know in a couple of these publications, I think he's the number one punter in his class in the country right now, and he's also got a very good kicking leg. So we're blessed to have him. He's already kicked a number of touchbacks. I think if we get inside really 40 yards and in, I would feel real comfortable kicking field goals. And so that's a weapon that we're fortunate to have, and so that he's a weapon. Like you said, he had 2 times at Greene County we kind of stalled out around midfield. He punches, kick, gets 35-yard punts and downs it inside the 10 both times, and so puts the opposing offense backed up, and so he works hard at it and has got a lot of potential as a kicker.
Yeah. So, Coach, like I said, like me personally, I focus a lot on just 12-3. I know, like I was talking to Coach Burns about, there's no such thing as 12-3s in football, but for me, that's how I generally focus it in my head. So I don't really pay attention to teams outside of our area, our coverage area. So talk to us a little bit about the district that you all play in. Who do you got in the district? Who do you got coming up, and those teams that you'll play in that district?
Yeah, so this is the first in my coaching career. We had, with our schedule this year, we had 10 brand new teams, not just district. So we're in a brand new district with 4 other teams, 5-team district, and then we also didn't have a repeat team on our schedule from last year. So that's the first for me. Most of the time, you have some rivalry games or some games that you play each and every year. So that's different. But then this district, I had some familiarity, obviously, when we came down, with Danville being in the district, and Leslie and Breathitt County. And, now we're go kind of west. We go from Eastern Kentucky District 7 to Western Kentucky District 3. So I guess Somerset, we just kind of fall odd in the geographical region of 2A football. So, but yeah, I mean, Greene County first week, Metcalf. We play Clinton County next week, then a week off, and then we'll play in Monroe County. So, to be honest with you, this is the first time I've played any of the. We played Greene County when I was at Danville, my first 2 years as a home and home, but I've never played any of the other 3 schools. So, it's all a little bit new to me and to us, and but Metcalf is, their record's not great obviously right now, but they have shown tremendous improvement watching their first game film to last week when they really went toe to toe with Monroe, who's was picked up there along with us to win the district. And so they've shown a lot of improvement, and Coach Harbison does a great job down there. So I know that they'll be ready to play for tomorrow night.
All right, Coach, man, I appreciate you coming on the show, man, and thank you for being on the first ever coaches show. And like I said, when I text Coach Clevenger, I was like, hey, it's live and there's going to be comments. I don't know what to expect, because you never know, man. You want to make sure everybody knows, some
there's probably not anything that's been said that hadn't been said about me before, so it's no skin off my back.
Hey, Kenny, I think Doodle's got a response to Coach's.
That is true.
Yep.
So anyway, man, I appreciate you, Coach. But we do have another thing. Go ahead and throw up the graphic there real quick, Coach. The Kenny's Hot Seat Challenge. So this is turned into my favorite graphic because I just like the way I look in that outfit, Coach. I'll just be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think that outfit looks good on me. So now I don't prepare for any of these questions. I just make them up on the fly.
Okay.
So
yeah, he got you on the spot.
If you had to arm wrestle someone on your staff, and it had to be a guaranteed win, who would it be for you?
I probably have to go against George.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 80, so he would have whipped me in the day. But I'm gonna take the age advantage right now. But I got a young staff. I'm not going against any of the other guys.
Okay. Jimmy, do you have one? Do you have a hot seat challenge question?
No, I don't have. That's
okay,
that's your thing. I'm not.
I'm gonna repeat one I did with Coach Burns too. Would you rather have a better offense or a better defense?
It depends. So, not it doesn't matter to me as long as we score more points. It doesn't matter if we win 3-0 or if we win 53-50. As long as we score more points, that's all that really worries me. So I've been in shootouts before and won and lost, and I've been in really tight defensive slugfest and won some and lost some. So, I think it's whatever it takes to try to score one more point than the opposing team.
All right. So this third question, I'm not for sure. This one, you can say no comment if you want to on this one, because I'm not for sure. All right. If it come down to it and there was a tiebreaker vote, would you vote yes or no on RPI?
Yes.
Okay. That's all. All right, then. That's all I need. I didn't know if I didn't want to put you in this situation.
A lot of people don't like RPI, and it's tough scheduling and this and that. But people have to realize is that before RPI, home field advantage and everything was set by odd and even. If you were in an even district on an even year, you got to host region championships, and if you were on a odd district on an odd year, you got to host semifinals. And so, now at least the better team in a points situation is rewarded. Now, do I think that we can make some changes and some tweaks to better it? I do, but I also think that you're seeing your top 8 and your top 4 teams in each class duking it out in those semifinal games and stuff. And so I do think that it's doing its job, but I think obviously there's always going to be some naysayers.
All right, Coach, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on, and we'll see you Friday night, and hopefully we get that coach's interview and get them boys with that belt at the end of the night.
Sounds good. They'll be looking forward to it.
Go Briar Jumpers.
See you, Coach.
Appreciate it,
Coach. Thank you.
All right, Jimmy.
Hey,
pretty good. So,
hey, this is that's what I'm talking about. Like, you get get that interaction and get to see the other side of the coaches and just the interaction.
No, it's a good start. Good coaches show. I was expecting some more questions to come in from the comments. We didn't get many questions. Didn't get much interaction. I think everybody was so glued to listening that they didn't ask no questions. So, but maybe I don't know.
Well, and I think that'll come because I think this is the first test run to see how it's going to react and what kind of reaction we're going to get from everybody. So I mean, looking at the numbers, we've been pretty well. I haven't been able to see it on the screen, but I went back on my phone and double checked everything. It's been pretty good. It's been pretty good views. So,
someone said nobody talks when Coach Clef talks. LOL. So, man, one of the funny things I did today is I went back and I went through some of our old videos and I started scrolling back to when we first started, man. And it was crazy. Our videos used to get 500, 600 views. And then all of a sudden it was 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 8,000, 90,000. It's crazy to watch the growth and how so much has changed. Now everything we drop gets thousands of views every single time. But anyway, so that was just a crazy. I'm not bragging. I'm not gloating. I'm just saying it's crazy to watch how so much has changed over a 2-year period of time. So it's crazy. But
if you also think about it, I mean, when this whole thing started up, we always had that vision of players first, right?
Yeah.
And the more and more time has gone on, the more been able to adapt to technology and upgrading of things, and so I think the more and more time goes on, the more and more we have fun doing it. Like we
Yeah.
get more fun doing it, so that whenever you have more fun doing it, your mind starts being creative about things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Hey, and I may or may not be in talks with people to expand studio live streaming games. Maybe I'm just saying that we might be on the verge of.
listen,
I'm sorry. I'm joking. I'm not. Well, maybe I am. Maybe I ain't. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
look, that's
First time I've ever heard him talk. I like this. Is he talking about
who?
Jimmy?
Are you talking about me? Wesley, you're talking about me?
But anyway, great interviews with the coaches, man. Coach Burns. And I always like to throw a little bit of humor in there and try to ask some silly questions to kind of get on another side and get their personality on it. But like I said, great interviews. We need to get some players on.
Yep.
So we'll get some players on with coaches at different times. And we are going to do some preview stuff with this show as well. We're going to keep it at an hour. So we're not going to do a big time preview of the games, but we're going to talk a little bit about the games, just a quick hitter, not a whole lot. But we will do somewhat of a preview. Sometimes Doodle will join us, maybe here and there. Chris will jump on, maybe Zach. Predominantly it's going to be me and Jimmy and the coaches, but people will pop in from time to time, just to kind of say, hey, what's up, or whatever.
Yeah.
And
there might be one time. There might be one time where you get a player on and the coach on.
Yeah.
So back and
Sunday night will still be will be the total nonsense of
the chaos
of what you all love and the interaction and stuff like that. This show, like I said, it's our coaches player show. So, and as always, thank you to our sponsors down there at the bottom of the screen. Jimmy was running Command Center tonight. He done a great job. Throw those graphics up there again, Jimmy, that you had. Let's real quick. Let's see them.
Look, here's the.
Look at there, the coaches player show, live show. Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. We're going to kind of try to keep that. Wednesday night works good for everybody. I think it's after church. If you go to church, everybody's kind of home. There ain't no football games going on. And then he had the Coach Burns graphic. Or look at there, he had Coach Burns on. Look at that. We had Coach Clevenger. Listen, Jimmy was on it.
Listen, creativity, man. You gotta play around with it a little bit just to make it to work out. But I mean, in reality, like this is what I'm talking about. Like in reality, it's fun. So you get the fun interactions of things, and you also get to do what you love to do. So
that's right. So, but anyway, so talking. Coaches got to talk a little bit about the games and their teams, and so who we got next week. So, like I said, Coach Haddock said he's coming on next week. Bull County Coach Haddock's. I've not got a second coach yet. We'll see. Where do we go? Do we leave? Do we go Coach Rogers? Do we go Coach Crutchfield? Who do we go for? What are some options here? Who do I reach out to? Haddock says he's coming on next week. So who's my next coach? Who do I go to?
Stonebreaker.
Stoney? Do we reach out for Stoney?
We'll have to wait and see.
I don't know. You get the comments. Who do we reach out for? Who do we go for? So, what about Coach Larkey? Coach Larkey said he's good to go.
Hey, listen, Coach, that guy's a talker, man. I'm telling you that right now.
Now, Coach, the internet over here at Rockcastle is not very good. We might have to find out where Coach Larkey lives.
Yeah, we got.
We might have to find out where Coach Larkey lives. I got a missed text message. I thought
somebody put they want Larkey before Bell game.
Oh, and there's no telling what Coach will say. Chris. Anyway, Jim, I don't know. Someone said Coach Foley. Coach Foley will come on the show. But anyway, like I said, this show right here, obviously, like I said, we want you to comment. We want you to interact. Always be thankful about what you're saying, interact with the coaches. And most of the time the coaches will ignore certain things, but, because not only, I know there's a bunch of stuff people want to say to coaches, but it also could hurt us as a platform. Yeah. Because if that coach sees something, they'll be like, hey, I'm not going on that platform no more. because of what people will say. So you don't, I mean, and then that, that could have rippling effects, right? You know what I mean? What they call it collateral damage.
Yeah,
So when we do
for
have
sure.
coaches and players on, just be mindful of that. And but anyway, it was fun. And Jimmy, real quick again, what's the schedule look like this week? Do you have it? Can you pull it up
Yeah.
again about who's playing?
So again, this week we have McCurry. Bell County travels to McCurry Central.
Let's
Bull
go really slow. So I'm going to talk about a little bit. That's a tough game.
Yeah.
L at McCree, be a tough one for McCree to come out on. That'd be a tough one for McCree.
Bell County's Bell County is consistently good too. So like when you play in Bell County, you're gonna get the best, and that's always, if you get a win against Bell County, that's always a plus on your schedule and resume too.
Hey, hold on, put the Greg Witt comment up there real quick.
The last one.
Yeah. Says the way Chris been hating on Bowl, how hard was it to get him to ask Bowl? Listen, they all buddies, man. They're all buddies. Like they're all buddies.
Yeah, if everybody only seen the comment that our group text right now, it's but yeah, so yeah, going back to Bell and McCurry Central, I mean that if you have a chance to to beat Bell at any point, that's good on your resume. But then we got Boyle at Ballard, so I think we already talked about it earlier.
Boyle, that's a game you think Boyle wins. Curious to see how they play, to be honest with you.
Right. Especially coming off of a bye week, and then considerably quote unquote trap game, as some people could say, since you got St. X waiting the week after.
I wonder, Baylor will be at. Baylor's not playing, correct? And there's
as far as I know, but I'm not.
They also have more injury news too that I don't think's been announced. But anyway, go ahead, Jimmy.
We have Eastern at Wayne, or is it Wayne? Hold on, yeah, it's Eastern's at Wayne. So
don't know much about Eastern.
They're 0-5. Wayne County should take care of that game, I would think. And of course we got Garrett at Casey. We talked about that.
Yeah. Well, Wayne. I think Wayne's holding it together with all the everything they've had to deal with this year and the different things. And Wayne's still a tough football team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They get that win. Eager to see them. They got that game at Lincoln, I think it is, in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Big district game.
Next week.
Yeah. So you know what I mean. It'd be a good one. But anyway, go ahead, Jimmy.
We have Lafayette travels to East Jessamine also as well on Friday night. Lafayette is 2-3 on the year.
Did West beat Lafayette?
Yes, 26-13 last week. So whether that's a comparison there.
East needs to win that game.
Yeah, that's a for sure game East needs to win.
Someone said, "What are your thoughts on Rock versus Clay?" We're getting right there shortly.
Right, so that was the next game that I was about to mention too. So.
Rock should win that game pulling away. That should not. I mean, that should not be a game in my opinion. I mean, it might start off slow, but that should be a multiple touchdown win. Right. I would imagine in my mind. I'm not saying that I'm not saying a running clock, but I'm saying it should be a win pulling away for Rock.
Yeah, I mean Clay County started 0-3.
If Rock's got any chance to beat Bell, they should handle Clay easy.
Especially it's at home. Especially since it's at home. Which we were talking about. That's going to set up the Rockcastle versus Bell County the week after. So,
we got who's going to take Casey and Garrett. Right now, to be honest with you, I'm leaning Garrett. I've not seen either team. I've seen Garrett, and I've kind of paid a little bit of attention to Casey. It seems like Casey's been in some games this year. They play some good games. They played some close. They play some teams close. So I'm not really for sure.
The Fleming, they went to Flemington the first game of the year, and it's 20-13 was the final score. But I mean that game.
Apple Festival weekend, bro.
Right? Yeah. Forgot about that.
I'm saying so. You never know. You never know.
Listen,
anything can happen on Apple Festival weekend. Doodlebug says, "I don't think it's going to be easy." You got the jitters, man. You got the jitters about
He's
it.
got. Oh shoot!
But my first thought is I think Garrett gets Casey at Casey, but it's at Casey, so we'll see. We'll see. It's Apple. I don't know if it's homecoming too. It might be homecoming down there. So a lot of variables.
And Bardstown goes to Mercer County, so Mercer County looking for their first win on the year.
What's
Yeah.
Bardstown's record?
But that's not typical Mercer County either. I mean,
a lot going on.
Yeah.
I think they lost. I think they've lost some players. A lot of players have quit. They've been in some games. It's just it's just one of those things, man. So it's just hard. Just got to keep playing. You got to keep playing when you just got to keep grinding. You got to keep grinding, man. Keep showing up. Jacob Stanford broke a Mercer County record, 4 touchdowns in a game. So they got some players, man. They got some players. Yep.
And then our last game, West Jessamine travels to GRC. So West Jessamine's coming off that win against Lafayette. That's I think that.
I took West Jessamine to win that. I don't know how good GRC is. I don't know.
GRC's 3-2. They've lost to Scott County, which is top 15, top 20.
What's the score?
42-6.
Okay.
And then they lost to a team out of Ohio.
Okay, who did they beat?
They beat Henry Clay, Montgomery County, and a team from West Virginia. So
there's not really no comparison. You can't.
Right. Yeah. But for West, then you got 2 weeks from now, then they're going to be the East-West showdown. So I think
we'll be there for that.
That needs the West needs to take care of. I think West needs at least make it a game.
Yeah.
But then
West can throw the ball. They got some good receivers, man. So we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, Jimmy, that's what it is, man. And we'll be in Somerset Friday night and Sunday night. We got our live show, and thank you guys for tuning in. But we've reached our hour. We're an hour and 2 minutes over. So I guess it's time to call the end of the show here, Jimmy. Time to end it. Thank you guys for watching. And Jimmy, anything you want to close it out with?
Close it out with is we'll see you at the Briar Patch Friday night.
See you guys.